Today we're going to pull apart a SLL 200 made by Davey. A few features of this pump is it encases total all plastic body. At the back we have one exposed metal bolt which has got additional protection of powder coating to reduce corrosion. We have our rear capacitor cover containing the model number and the serial number. To strip it further now, we remove the outer housing. Then our boot here. Now you undo the main locking ring using the large silencer spanner. We've now got the front housing assembly with the diffuser inside. Which slips out. And we've got the diffuser O-ring. Okay, we'll now disassemble the stator and shell assembly, removing the front case O-ring. We'll now undo the rear locking ring. In front we have our impeller and neck ring. We'll remove that. Now have to remove the impeller. We'll now tap off the outer housing. So this is the water jacket. We have an O-ring in the back here. And our stationary face with the mechanical seal in there. So on the boot for the seal and the stationary ceramic face. We have a small turbine fan on the front to avoid water getting into the bearing if there was a mechanical seal leak. And have the main body O-ring and a spacer. We'll just disconnect the capacitor and the terminal block. Now we'll remove the end shield. We now have the end shield removed and our isolation barrier. We now just have the stator and shell with the rotor assembly inside. To remove the bearings, you put this in your bearing press. Gently warm around that section, the front bearing, and press down, and your bearing and rotor assembly will come out. So you then have your rear bearing and your front bearing will come out assembly. Okay, we'll now just remove the mechanical seal, the rotating element from the impeller. Okay, so we now have the rotating element of the mechanical seal, and we have a small plastic disc here which we'll remove just to clean. Just clean around the eye of the impeller. Put the disc, plastic disc back in, and we'll now replace the mechanical seal. Okay, we'll now do a complete seal kit change. So we have our seal kit here. We open that up. We have our rotating element of the mechanical seal, the ceramic stationary face, the main case O-ring, the rear windshield O-ring, the diffuser O-ring, and the front bearing O-ring. So we'll start to reassemble. Placing the new mechanical seal back over the impeller. We'll put the stationary face into the water jacket. Put our small spacer. You'll notice that it is tapered, so the taper faces to the top. Just over there. The new O-ring. And then our turbine fan, which directs water away from the bearing. When it is spinning, it is blowing air away from the bearing. It can only go on correctly one way. We will now reassemble the stator and shell into the water jacket. So we take the water jacket, place the rear O-ring back in. If you like, you can put a little bit of O-ring grease onto these, but make sure they are not petroleum based. The O-ring in position. You'll note that this is the bottom of the water jacket. So for assembly purposes, I will now point this towards myself, and the bench has got a hole drilled in here to enable the shaft to go through. Noting the positions of the wires, they need to be at about the 1 o'clock position when I drop this into the stator. We now put our isolation barrier back into position. And our windshield. Back in, noting this is the top position there, that's the top. As I said here, this is the bottom facing us. We have a slot here that must line up with the slot at the bottom. Just tap this on gently. We'll now put the locking ring back on and tighten it up. We will now put the impeller back onto the wet end with our impeller and our neck ring. I'll now fit the neck ring onto the impeller, and we will now fit the front casing to the stator assembly. Put the main O-ring back over the body. The main locking ring. Now we'll put the front housing back on. Noting there is a cutout here, and there's a cutout at the top, which lines up here, and at the bottom. Our diffuser assembly, noting the word top here. This is our top, so it drops to there. O-ring goes on to the diffuser. locks into position. Okay. Now we must take care that the locking ring, there is a tab here, and that must go all the way around to the top. Never stop it in this position here, or you won't be able to get the nut on. We'll put the rubber boot, noting this is the front, the thicker region, and the rear is thinner. Goes around here. Okay, we'll now put the other housing to the pump, noting this is the front section with the two drain holes here. If there's any need for water from the mechanical sealer to get out. Reconnect the capacitor. And reconnect our terminal block. So we've now got the terminal block back onto the rear casing, capacitor into the housing. We now replace the capacitor cover. Put back our one remaining bolt. That's the reassembly complete.